Hey everybody, it's that brown car guy back with another video, and today I have this 2012 Hyundai Genesis 2.0 turbo that I'm going to be working on today. I'm going to be replacing the window tints. The tints has been on here since 2012 and it's just starting to bubble up back here, which is pretty good. I've seen old tint age really weird. Usually there's like some peanuts or a little like a excessive amount of bubbles in the back window, but this one's held up pretty good the past few years. But today I have a little time. I'm gonna go ahead and replace it. So the mission is to strip the old tints off the car, put new tint on the car, and if I have some time I'll give the car a nice detail to make it feel good and refresh it a little bit. But that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and pull in the shop and get started. Alright, so I got the car pulled in the shop and I got all my tools and bottles and everything ready for me to start removing the tint and putting a new tint on. But in this case I have the steamer hooked up. I have my heat gun and some adhesive remover for this situation. I'm not sure what is going to happen after I start peeling the tint off. Some old tint comes off really easy. Some old tint comes off really hard where you have to get a lot of the glue off, but we'll see as we get into it. So I'm going to start with this window and I'll work my way all around. I'll probably do the back window last just because it's going to take the longest time. But here goes nothing. So it started coming off pretty smooth. Like it didn't leave any glue behind, but when I started getting like quarter way through the window, that's when it started leaving a lot of glue. So then I just went ahead and just ripped it. And now I'm gonna spray some of this adhesive remover. And then I'm gonna let it sit for about 2-3 minutes. And I'm gonna come back and I'll scrub the window with a a white scrubby pad and a razor blade, and make sure I get all the glue off, and we should be good to go. Alright, so I got the driver's front window fully stripped and all the glue is off. So I got one down and 4 more to go. So I stripped the driver's side, both windows, and now I'm on the passenger side. And before I take the tint off this side, I want to take this tint meter and see what it measures. 38.7. Oh, that's pretty good. Originally, the goal was to put legal tint on the car, and it seemed like this film held up its darkness and percentage over the years. Pretty cool. But in this case, that was 8 years ago. In 2020, this year, we want to go just a little darker than 38%. Not 5%, but we want a little more darkness to these windows. Alright, so I got the driver's side and the passenger side tint fully removed, and I got all the glue off. And now I got the tint off the back window, but I had to just peel it off and then spray the adhesive remover on there and let it sit for a while to help dissolve the glue so I can scrape it all off. But in the meantime, while I'm waiting, I'm going to go ahead and put the tint that I'm using on the plotter and go ahead and cut everything out and get it all ready to put on the car. For the Hyundai, I'm going to be using Suntech CXB carbon film, 35%. But this being a carbon film, not a true ceramic film, it's going to measure a lot darker than just 35%. I'll go ahead and do a sample spot and show you an example. All right, so I cut a little square from that 35 that I'm going to be using on this car, and I wanted to put that 35 over the glass to see what it measures, and it measures 25.2. So first, right off the bat, someone would think like, oh, you put the 35% on this glass, it should measure 35%. Well, there's two different variables here. The factory glass already has a 70% hue on it. It usually says on this little sticker right here on the glass, not really a sticker, but like a decal that's printed on the window. It usually says what it is, but in this case, it doesn't have that. But when you put the 35 film over it, it's going to measure a little less. And since this isn't a ceramic film, so usually ceramic films maintains its percentage, especially if you put it over 70%. Usually it goes down about 2 to 3%. In this case, it went down about 10%, which that's what we're going for. That's exactly why I'm putting this film over this car. We're not going for heat rejection. We're literally just going to replace that old tint and to put something a little darker on the car. Old tint. Goodbye, old tint. It's crazy, like the color. I don't know if it's gonna come up in camera, but it looks a little more like purplish bluish. And then the new tint has more of like a charcoal black type of color to it, which looks really good. It's gonna match with the color of the car really well. All right, so I got the windows cut out. They are ready to be installed. My next step is to clean the outside of the windows, and then I'm going to heat shrink the windows with the heat gun to get it to shape the glass. So when I put it on the inside, it squeegees out with no fingers, no bubbles, and no issues. I finally got the back window cleaned. A few little streaks here and there, but all the glue is removed, and that part took forever. It literally took me probably 35-40 minutes just going back over and over and over and over the glass just to make sure none of the little chunks is going to get trapped between the glass and the film, because you will definitely see that when you put the film inside the glass. But I didn't want to have any problems, so I took the extra time to make sure that back glass is clean as best as I can get it. But that being said, I'm going to take this film and stick it on the inside. All right, so I cleaned the back window, got all the glue off, took the film that I already heat shrunk, put it on the inside of the glass, and then got it in there. It was 99% on there. Like, it was perfect. Everything squeegeed out beautifully. Like, it was awesome. And then there was a little bubble that popped up on the, like, right here. And I heated it up from the outside with the heat gun and then pushed it down. And I noticed it had a little crease. And then when I looked closely, like, it was a big crease. I was like, oh, man. So I already threw it away, and I got rid of it. And now I already have the new one on the back glass, heat shrunk already. But I figured I'd share something that happens during the process, but it doesn't always get caught on camera. It sucks because it takes another, 20, 30 minutes to heat shrink one and then put it on the inside. But at the end of the day, that's part of doing something like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this one on and move on. All right, I am finally finished tinting this car, and it came out awesome. Much better. It's got a really nice darkness to it. It's not too dark, it's not too light. You can still see in and you can still see out, and it won't have any issues with cops or anything like that. But it came out really nice. But now the only thing is the car is still dirty, and I really want to clean it up and make it feel and look better. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing the interior, and then after that I'm going to wash it and then pull it outside, do a little walk around, and we'll see what it looks like. All right, interior is all done. Got the little do not roll down sticker. It's just a nice basic detail. Just a vacuum wipe down and throw some conditioner on the panels and all the plastics just to make it feel better. Now I'm about to pull it outside and give it a good bath. Finally, this car is finished and it looks completely different. Oh yeah, all cleaned up, freshly tinted. Oh yeah, it came out really nice. Oh yeah. Well, that's it. My mission has been accomplished. Today was a long day on this car, but it was definitely worth it, that is for sure. Definitely more videos like this coming soon. This is basically what I do on the weekends, is projects like this. But that's it for today's video. If you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up button, and I would also like to see what you guys thought of this video, and if you have any questions or anything like that, please comment below and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more videos like this. I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.